All right, welcome to another episode of Craig Max Chasing Success. The young man that you see on the screen there, that is Derrick Robinson. He is the proud owner of Persona, a clothing store that he owns, and he's been gracious enough to sit down and talk with us. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you spending that time with me, Derrick. So
Thank you for the invite.
let's get into it. So Derrick, where were you raised?
Man, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, born
Memphis.
and raised.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
How, so when did you come to Texas?
Man, I've been in Texas since 2012.
2012.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much just moved here. No friends. I was married at that time as well. We just literally came for my birthday in March of 2012.
Okay.
Spent a weekend here, Friday through Sunday, went home and said, I think we could live there. And by July, we were here.
Wow. So
Literally, no friends, no family, no nothing.
yeah, no, I get it. So did you just celebrate a birthday?
Yeah, we did. Just celebrated on March 17th.
All right. Well, happy birthday, belated birthday to you, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Okay. All right. So what were you doing before you got into the clothing business?
Oh, well, that's the long story, but I keep it condensed. I was actually in the rapid refund industry.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I was pretty much really on the independent side. I was a major player in that game. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
yeah. So we were fairly large. Like I say, independent. Me and my cousin and we owned the company. We had 300 or so locations across 17 states.
Mm.
Yeah, but we were young when we started. So, if you're young
I was
and
hustling.
oh, we were basically, yeah, yeah, basically hustling and just found something that happened to work. But, young and dumb, man, kind of mismanaging stuff and, everything just collapsed after 17 years.
You did it for 17 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had an amazing run. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're actually legendary in the industry, trust me.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
So what drew you to the clothing industry?
Well, after, we were, let's say, asked graciously to leave the industry, I
Right.
had to find something else to do.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and man, I've always dressed well anyway, to be honest with you, best dressed, this, that, and the other. So
Okay. So
it
you
was
received
kind
a
of
lot of
like,
compliments on your fashion. Is that so you
yeah, I mean, I've literally always, I'm 54, so we grew up in an era where we wore a lot of suits and dressed a little nicer than what they do now. So
right.
I've always worn this stuff,
Okay.
so it wasn't like I said, "Ooh, let me go out and start something," and I had no experience at it. I'm a creative, and I've always dressed nice, so this was like a fairly easy transition. I just had to basically learn the business model real quick. So after the tax thing ended, I hadn't had a job since 95.
Hmm.
I just said, all right, what am I going to do now? And decided basically that the clothing thing would be it. And I like tailored suits and stuff like that anyway.
Hmm. How long you been in the business?
Um, I kind of was toying with it a little bit in 2011, but full time 2012. Literally, when I moved here, started from scratch.
All right. So we're talking about what, 12 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what did you do to get started?
Man, a lot of research and networking. That's
Research and network.
that's really what it was. Social media was kind of brand new somewhat back then, so a lot of long nights, you know, networking on Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff, finding all my sources and vendors and factories and everybody that I work with.
Okay, so you needed vendors, you needed factories, right, to make the clothing.
Yeah.
Do you design your own stuff?
So I'm a custom clothier, so it's not like we're doing ready to wear pieces and having them hanging up in the store. I strictly do custom made things.
Okay.
So technically, we're designing and styling all at the same time, but it's not like I'm doing it for, let's just say, retail purposes, whereas I'm going to just hang it up on on a rack somewhere and try to sell it.
Okay.
It's going to be specifically made for each individual.
Gotcha. Hence the name persona, right? It's your personal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody has a persona.
Gotcha.
That's
Gotcha.
what That's part of the reason why I came up with the name, because I wanted it to be something that, even though they don't think about it, it's something that everybody truly, I don't care who it is, everybody can relate to because you have one.
Right. I got you. But since I was going to be dealing with you, man, I tried to put on one of my better shirts, man.
I'm not, you
But I
good,
was
man.
because you all convinced you up, and so I had to do something, So I went with the paisley.
No, you good, man.
Okay. So let me ask you this: what's been your biggest challenge so far in these 12 years of being in the business?
Um, I mean, the business runs pretty good, to be honest with you. But I mean, just continuing to find ways to grow is always the challenge,
Okay. Okay.
because sometimes you can definitely get to a point where it seems like it's not elevating. And I'm mostly a solo operation. I have like one partner in Columbus, Ohio, but
Hmm.
here in Dallas, um, it's pretty much me. So it's kind of hard, truthfully, if you want to ascend without a team.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So,
so all these solo entrepreneurs, you can get in and you can grow, but
right.
eventually, if you want to get to a higher level, we all need a team.
Yeah. Well, I find that most new businesses make or break themselves within the first 5 years of getting in business. And a lot of times, one of the biggest problems that causes a business to fail is that they grow too fast. They don't have all the infrastructure in place
Oh yeah,
to deal with.
oh
If
yeah,
you have immediate success, it's too much, and they wind up failing because of that. So,
oh yeah. That's a lot of it. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just a bad business model, and maybe sometimes they just don't have enough hustle in them.
hmm.
You know,
Okay.
you got to have all of it.
Hmm. What advice would you give someone that is looking to get started in the business,
In any business or this
the
particular
clothing
business?
business?
The clothing business? I don't know. I guess you got to probably figure out who it is that you're trying to service. What does your ideal client looks like? You know, what kind of clothing, I guess, you want to offer. And then you got to, research your competitors out there too
Mm,
and figure out what they're doing. I mean, not necessarily the mom and pops. I always look at the bigger guys. I never or rarely look at anybody that's, I would say, that's on my level, like
mm-hmm.
independent. I'm always gonna gauge myself against what the big guys, say the Tom Jameses, those well-known guys. I
Hmm.
gauge myself against what they're doing.
Okay. All right. All right. Do you, when you gauge yourself against what they're doing, I heard someone say today that they don't feel that they um, necessarily know or have the best way of doing something, that they in turn look to see what somebody outside of their organization is doing and then that's doing it better
Yeah,
and try to duplicate that.
yeah, you should do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and no need to try to reinvent the wheel all the time.
Right. Right. It's
Yeah,
okay to copy. Don't steal.
everybody's every who doesn't do it? Major corporations do it every day.
Right. Okay. Um, man, I guess that's about it. Now, what I did was here. What I want to do is pull up your. I got your website, and I want to share my screen so people can see your website. Right.
Yeah, but truthfully, the best place to see everything that we're doing, I mean, the website is cool, but like my Instagram feed really is better.
Okay. All right. Well, I got it up here. And so how can they reach you on Instagram?
Everything's Persona Custom Clothiers.
Okay.
I mean,
So
on
well,
every
I just had
social
this
media.
page up so people can see it, and they can go to Instagram and find you there. And
Yep,
again, I want to thank you, Derrick, for spending the time with me and sharing that information and your humble beginnings. And tell your wife I said hello.
will do.
I don't want to leave her out. And thanks again, my man. This has been Derrick Robinson sharing with us his website, his business, Persona. And you guys come check it out. Catch him on Instagram, like he said. And also, he has a website for you to look at some of his products as well. All right. So thanks again, Derrick. I appreciate it. Let me hold on for a second here. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And I appreciate the time, brother. I really do.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.